What's up, guys? Aloha, and welcome once again to my head scratching episode of Insane Disappearances, where I talk about people who vanish or are found dead in national parks, national forests, urban areas, and rural areas under mysterious circumstances. Today, I am making up for the video that I was trying to make Monday, but I was so busy and I had to get ready for work, so that really kind of missed everything. I had to be at work a little earlier than I thought I was going to be. I thought I was going to have a chance to do it because I thought I was going to have to be coming to work at 6:30, but they wanted us in a little early, so that messed everything up, like I said. So today, I'm making up for the one that I should have did for Monday, and it's already Wednesday, so you got your Wednesday video. Okay, today I want to talk about a very special ghost experience that I had. Now, August 5th, 2016, somewhere around that area, probably after the 5th, I posted a little small video about what was going on with me at the time. I was my mind was like in a million places at that point, and my grandmother had just passed. You know, she died. She passed away at 93. And I was telling you guys that I was going to her funeral over the weekend. I think we left Friday morning, and the funeral was Saturday. It was a very short funeral, you know. So we had the funeral Saturday, and I did all my crying before all that. You know, I did my crying, you know, in the hospital room when she was laying there in a coma and starving to death because they weren't gonna feed her anymore. We were just going through a lot of pain and a lot of sorrow about what was going on. But the one thing that really got me was when I went over to her bed and she just kept moaning because she was starving. They weren't feeding her and everything. As soon as she heard my voice, her body calmed. You know, I told her that it's your favorite grandson. You know, I'm gonna try and get you the help that you need, okay? And her body just relaxed when she heard my voice, and that really got me. It really touched me because I love my Nana very much. I still do, and I know she loved me, you know, a lot. I was her favorite grandson, you know. So it was a very touching moment for me when she visited me after she passed, the same day she died. By the time I got back to the house, I was gonna get started on a tribute video for my Nana, and my aunt helped me out with a bunch of photos that I could put together for a video, and it came out very good. Everybody liked it, and I believe, well, I won't say I believe, I know I posted it on my channel. So if you guys saw it, you know what I'm talking about, you know, with all my family together and my Nana. So, but I was at this very computer, and I was in my photo album on my laptop, and I was looking through some photos, and I came across a photo of her on her 92nd birthday. We had a birthday for her in you know, in Griffin, Georgia. Now this is a photo of my Nana. Ain't she just the sweetest thing ever? Ooh. Okay, yeah, that's my Nana. I love this woman to death. This is her. Sweetest woman you could ever meet, you know. And as I was looking at a certain photo of her, it was on her 92nd birthday, and it was a photo of her sitting at the table, you know, with her, I think her birthday cake was right in front of her, I believe. And right when I started looking at it, this brilliant light in the form of a person appeared right on the screen, and you could see a head, a neck, and some shoulders that pretty much covered the right side of the photo. Now this is the photo right here, and I think you can see it real good now, because before I was trying to show it, but it wouldn't show up. Oh, darn it. And when I turn it to the side, you can see it better. Okay. Now you see that light, and you see my Nana's in the background. And if you look closely, you can see a head, you can see shoulders, you can see the neck. That lighting is covering the left side of the photo. You know, I mean, on the right side on my end, but on the left side from the screen, you can see something, you know, hovering in front of her face. Now, keep in mind, this was actually on the computer screen. Okay, she was inside my computer. You know, my Nana was, at that point, she was basically pure energy, and it was a brilliant light she was like a brilliant light, you know, and it was the most amazing thing I ever seen in my life. And to know that my Nana just popped up on the screen, and I'm sitting there, I'm looking through the camera, taking pictures of the stuff, and I'm like, and I'm thinking it was a glare from the light in my house, and I'm looking around, and it's still there, and I'm moving the camera, and it's moving my phone around, and it's still there. And I'm looking out, looking at everything else, and something just said, "Hurry up and snap the picture before she goes away." So I snapped the picture, and I got my proof right here. And this is the photo that you guys saw right here. Okay, I just hate that you can only see it when I got it like this, you know, so you can actually see how it looks. Like I said, that's the head. That's my Nana in the background. You see her in like a little bluish purple type outfit. I think it's like a blue outfit. And there's a light covering the top portion of her head. You can see her face. I mean, you can't see it now, but that light, you can see a head, a neck, and some shoulders, which is covering up a large portion of that side of the picture. And that was her. And she was just standing there, you know, she was letting me know that she was okay. And she didn't speak anything. She was just there on the computer, you know, because she knew I was into stuff like that. And for her to actually appear on the computer as a brilliant light in a photo, it was the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. I never knew even ghosts could do that. I knew they can do some amazing things, but to know that my Nana was able to do that, that was amazing. And it blew my mind at that point. But it was just the fact that I knew it was her, and she was saying goodbye in her own way. And for me to be the kind of person I am and into the unknown and all this stuff and ghosts and everything, she knew that was the best way for her to say goodbye to me in a way like that. And that really got me at that point. And then after that, when I snapped a picture on my phone, and then she just disappeared. You know, and that was the last I ever heard of my Nana at that point. You know, she's at rest now, and I'm just like, you know, I'm good. You know, that's like I said, it hasn't been a year yet, but you know, in August it will be. You know, and I will probably post a tribute video for her on my channel or something. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but you know, I want to do something special for my Nana, and I'll figure it out at that point. But that was my experience right here in my home on the day that my Nana passed. But on to bigger and better things. Today's story is going to be about a young man named David Christian. He went missing on 03/17/2012 at 11:30 p.m. in Whistler, British Columbia. He was 27 years old when he disappeared. Now, David was actually born in Ireland, you know, to be exact. But he always wanted to, you know, travel the world. So, you know, he was also known to be, you know, smart and friendly. Everybody thought of him like that. You know, he was a very, very nice guy. You know, very kind to everyone that he was around. You know, he went to college and accomplished a three-year degree. You know, and it was a 3-year degree in bioinformatics. Okay, then he went on to earn his graduate degree. Now, in June of 2008, he relocated to Toronto, Canada, you know, with his best bud, Matt Walsh. They wanted to move to the West Coast, so they did, you know, together, you know, to get a room and get a good job. So what they did was they found a job listing for the Whistler Blackcomb Resorts. They, you know, went in for an interview and they got the jobs immediately, as a matter of fact. So now everyone that was interviewed by David Paulides said that David was a very happy person and was kind to everyone he was around. Everybody made a point to say that because it was a very important point, you know, a very important thing about him. He was just a very kind person, you know, very polite and, you know, very intelligent. Now, he was enjoying a stellar career in Whistler, around the time when March 17th rolled around. Now, he went with his friends to a place called Merlin's Bar and Grill in town where he was staying at that point. Now see, they hung out and he stayed until about 11:30. Then he went his own way at that point, just like all the rest of them. They go to a bar and they hang out with their friends. They drink, they have fun, and then when it's all over, everybody leaves. But that person will part their way from the group and go their own way. Probably was going back home or going to another person's house that he knew. Nobody really knows. But that was the last time he was ever seen by anyone at that point when he separated from the group. That was the last time he was ever seen alive. Now, on March 17th, David actually sent out a text message to a friend around 2:30 a.m. But the text was never disclosed and the friend was never identified. And that was the worst part. How they couldn't find a friend, why they couldn't find a friend, I'll never know. But David was alive at that point. That's the killer. He was alive. He went missing at 11:30 p.m. but he was still alive up until 2:30 when he sent that text message. Now, what he was doing, where was he, what kind of situation he was in when he did that, when he sent that text, nobody knows. And the fact that the text was never disclosed or never was shown to the media or never talked about, that's the weirdest part of this whole case, because why would you leave out that kind of information? I mean, obviously, maybe, just maybe, the text message that he sent out was crucial to the case, and he was probably explaining what was happening. Now, for the fact that it was never disclosed, I would think that the authorities knew that, and so they didn't want nobody to know that it was something that was out of this world or unexplainable, or they wanted to make sure it was unexplainable. That's the reason why it was never, disclosed at that point. So what that text said, nobody probably will never know. The only person that does know is the friend, and he somehow, for some reason, can't be found. So maybe he disappeared too. I don't know. Okay. Now he was supposed to be on a flight Sunday morning to Vancouver for for Sunday Mass, but of course he never made it. Now, and he wasn't reported missing until Monday morning. Now, Sunday, I believe, was actually March 17th at that time. Let me see. It said that March 17th of that year, of 2012. Now, if I was to go back on my calendar, I would be able to see exactly what date it was. It was probably on a Sunday. Let me see, because it never did say exactly what the actual date was. It was just saying Sunday of 2000, of that date. So let me see. That's 2011. Okay, 2012 March 17th was actually on Saturday. March 17th was on a Saturday, and Sunday, that was when they said that he sent out a text. Monday was when he was finally listed as a missing person. Okay. Now, you see, the police brought in canines, of course, and they also brought in copters and SAR teams and resort ski patrols in order to look for him. They searched everywhere, but nothing was ever found. Now, the search continued on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. At that point, when something was actually discovered that belonged to David, it wasn't discovered by the police, the local police. It was discovered by an actual member of the community that was walking through the Whistler Fairmounts golf course. Now he, oh wait, I lost my place real quick. Oh yeah, okay. And he found two blue Van skate shoes on the 15th fairway of the golf course. The police were summoned right after that. They were his shoes, apparently. Well, they stated that they were his shoes. It could have been anybody's shoes at that point, but it was David's shoes. Okay, now they continued searching and found his body in several inches of water in the Horstman Creek near Lost Lake. Okay, this is another key point in a lot of these cases. Whenever a person's body is found either on or near a body of water, it is always a body of water that has a very strange name that has something to do with despair or death, like Devil's Creek or Devil's Backbow, and this one, Lost Lake. That's always the weirdest part. Why is it all these people are being found in these areas that have these names with the word devil in it, or something ominous like Lost Lake, or like Cape Fear or stuff like that? People have disappeared in that area too in North Carolina. But like I said before, I actually looked up one of those names, and I sent it to David Paulides, so maybe to put some light on his question. He said that he would, well, not his question, but actually it was a question. He said that he would love to find out where these places got their names from, and there you have it. When I looked it up and I saw what it was saying, and I sent it to him. So hopefully he read it. Maybe he can shed some light on the subject of why these places got or how these places got these names, these weird names. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, now there of course were no signs of violence at that point. So even though the body was found, they didn't mention the condition of the body, meaning obviously the body was discovered with hardly no clothes on. There was no cause of death, which is the reason why they said there was no violence surrounding his death. So somehow he died in a way that didn't leave any evidence behind, of course. Now the police indicated that all signs showed that David died from hypothermia, which is a very big name that they use in all of these cases when they can't figure out why the person died. So they mentioned hypothermia, and their theory was crazy at best, because they came up with the idea that he got disoriented, he took the wrong bus, he got on the wrong trail and wandered into the creek after removing his shoes. Seriously? Why would he just willingly take off his shoes and then walk into the creek and die or kill himself? Think about it, people. Whenever the law enforcement has a case that they can't figure out, and even if there is evidence, it's some very weird and strange evidence that makes no sense. So they come up with all these reasons for why the person died, like hypothermia, or death by drowning, or accidental drowning, or drowning by intoxication, all kinds of craziness. Yeah, he was at a bar and grill place, but it never was indicated that he was drinking, because there was a toxicology report that was done, but I don't think that it was ever televised, or anything. I think that's what he said in the last portion of the story, that he couldn't find any information on the toxicology report. Okay, so let's see. Oh yeah. Okay. Now they can. Okay, I read that part. Okay, here we go. Now David would have known he was, on the golf course, and I would think so too. I mean, if you on a long stretch of grass that looks like a golf course, then you on a golf course. He wasn't that stupid. He wasn't stupid, and he wasn't that drunk for him to be even on the golf course. He knew where he was, but why he ended up there or near that or in that body of water, I'll never know. Nobody really knows. Okay. Now, none of what the police described, you know, held any water, because they were just making that stuff up as they go along, And when they came up with that theory of how he got disoriented, he got on the wrong bus, and he got on the wrong trail, and he wandered into the creek after removing his shoes. So, like I said, he wasn't found with his shoes on. He was found without his shoes. He probably didn't even have a shirt on as well. But there obviously was no cause of death on the body in that, in the manner of how these other people are being found dead. So, like I said, like I always say in my past videos, is anybody's guess at that point, because the police department and the coroner's office, they work together in trying to figure out what's going on, and when they can't figure it out, they come up with their own theory that they feel will sustain the emotions of the family members and the community, so that they won't have to talk about it no more. Anytime there's a weird case dealing with a person's death, and there's no evidence to show how he died, they want to shut it up by saying, oh, he died of hypothermia, he died of drowning, da 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 da. But yet they'll add a little tidbit saying after he removed his shoes. Why would he remove his shoes? Seriously. Why would he even remove any part of his clothing? And talking about hypothermia, he wasn't dead that long enough for them to even say that he died of hypothermia. It's not like he was in the mountains. He was in a rural area. Makes no sense. But yeah, that's pretty crazy story right there. But that is my time on that one. Because like I said, I didn't have too much to read today. I've been busy, cleaning. My mom came over to help me clean up my house, so I didn't really have a lot of time to really put in a lot of information on maybe one or two cases. So I was just glad that I was able to make this video. But when you're dealing with something like that, where the college student is going to a bar, which is what happens with every single one of these people. They have fun with their friends. They getting ready to leave, and for some reason, every single person that ends up disappearing walks away from the group and goes their separate way. Now, maybe he was walking home or walking to another friend's house, but somewhere between point A and point B, he ends up texting a friend. He was probably on that golf course. And after that, that was it. He was found in a body of water. Now, according to the story, they were searching for him for another 3 days. That was Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. He was found not by the police department, but by a passerby, a local community member. And he was just walking through the field of the golf course and found his body in Lost Lake. Well, no, he found some shoes on the golf course on the 15th fairway, as a matter of fact. Okay, when they found the shoes, a couple of days later, they find the body in the creek. So how he got there, I don't know. Why he would take off his shoes and run towards the creek or walk towards the creek and get in there and just let himself drown, I don't know. They didn't say anything about his family. Didn't say anything about him having any mental issues. He was an all-around nice guy. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, I had some coworkers that committed suicide. One of them was a real quiet guy. He never really looked like he had a problem, but he was just very quiet. So one day, I'm coming to work, I found out he put a bullet in his head. And he was actually on his way to work. He was actually in the process of getting ready for work. They said he had on his work clothes and his badge around his neck. He just decided to take his own life, and he left behind a daughter and a girlfriend. So when people do stuff like that, you never really know until it actually happens. Because they don't reveal any type of problem that they may have. Suicide people who commit suicide are very, very, very quiet about what they're doing or what they want to do. They don't mention it to nobody. They don't say anything about it that may indicate that he wants to leave this earth in a very abrupt manner. But it is what it is. The other person that everybody thought committed suicide is still up in the air even after this, because nobody really knows what happened. They just know that he was found dead in a lounge chair in his home. Okay, so they believe it was a homicide, because they can't believe that he would actually commit suicide. And I knew the man. I didn't know him personally, but I knew him because he was my coworker. But The other guy, didn't really know him either. I just knew of him, and I saw him a lot, and like I said, he was always so quiet, very quiet. And then all of a sudden, poof, he was gone, and he just up and just took his life. So for a person like David to actually take off his shoes and walk towards Lost Lake and fall in deliberately so that he could, and then open up his mouth to drown. See, that's another part that doesn't make any sense. If they said he died of hypothermia, but he was found in the water, they didn't mention anything about any water being in the lungs, because obviously he didn't commit suicide. He didn't drown. They just said he died of hypothermia. I'm pretty sure the lake was probably cold. I mean, even though this was in March, so it was cold, but not that cold. But depending on where you are, if you're in an area like that in Canada, I mean not Canada, but British Columbia, I'm not sure how the weather is over there in March, but they always say beware of the eyes of March. So that means the weather is going to be very, very, like, just up and down. One minute it's going to be hot, one minute it's going to be cold, one minute it's going to be warm, next minute it's going to be chilly. So there was no talk about crazy weather in that area, so I don't know if it was warm or if it was hot or if it was cold. So if it was cold, obviously, like they said, he died of hypothermia, but that's still up in the air, because, well, a lot of cases where they say a person died of hypothermia is up in the air because he wasn't in the water that long for him to die of hypothermia. He wasn't in the elements that long for him to die of hypothermia. The man was found in like 3 days. Most people will be gone for about 2 weeks or 52 days, and then all of a sudden, poof, they find him dead somewhere. But for him to be gone for 3 days and they find his body, in a body of water, what was he going through? What was that? What did that text say? Okay, that's my main question. What was on that? What was on that friend's phone? What was that text? What did he say in that text? Did he mention that something he was seeing something, or he saw something that he couldn't explain? It's just, I mean, I don't know. But obviously they never found his phone or anything else remotely close to saying that he was there, or the fact that it belonged to him. It's just a complete mystery, and I really don't have any answers for it. I mean, I can read the story 10 times over and just come up with theories of what probably happened to him, but it wouldn't really answer anything. So that's my take on that. It's really not too much to say, because like I said, all I have is theories on what could have happened. For him to, like I said, end up in a river. I mean, in that in Lost Lake, and just the fact that the lake had a weird name, a very spooky name, Lost Lake. So why would you call it Lost Lake? Who called it Lost Lake? Where did the name come from? I don't know. I would have to look that up just to even see where Lost Lake got its name. And if I find something, I will definitely post it on my next video. I think I looked on Wikipedia at the time when I was looking up, I think, not Devil's Bowl, but I forgot exactly the name of what I was looking for. But there is a reason why these places get these names, and especially these bodies of water. But nobody really knows how, because we're talking about ancient times here. Something happened in the past for them to call it that. Just like that man I told you about. I think it was Devil's Backbone or something like that. And he said that he wanted to worship whoever, and they took him. I guess, I'm not sure. I wasn't there, so I don't know. That's all I read about it. Was that he, devoted his life. He was gonna worship whoever. Whatever that thing was that he was gonna worship. I don't know what it was. But like I said, there's something really weird going on here, guys. People are disappearing, and nobody has an answer. And the people that do have an answer don't want to talk about it. They don't want to give the information to the families, which is what they should have done or should do, but they're not doing it. Sometimes I feel like you would have to commandeer the satellite office and just say, anybody that's not a park ranger or a park superintendent, you need to leave now. And if they still standing there, you pull the trigger and pop a gun in the ceiling and say, everybody leave now. You lock the whole place down and keep them in one spot so they won't try to call the police. And you probably would have to torture them before they can get it out. And they still might, say, well, I'm still not going to tell you, so you might as well just kill me. That's what happened with that agent, the FBI agent that was handling all those missing kid cases in Colorado and stuff like that. Like the Jared Atadero case. Oh no, wait, not Jared Atadero. Not Keith Parkins, it was the other one. Dennis Martin. It's agent. I think it was an Agent Lee or Agent U or something like that. Oh no, that was the agent that he was talking to on the phone that was saying you'll never get this case. It was about Stacey Harris, but I think his name was Agent Lee, I believe, and he actually killed himself. He took the secret of what was really going on in that park with him, and it was obviously so devastating that he didn't want to deal with it anymore, because he worked right along with these things. I guess, I don't know. These guys are the keepers of the cards, people. They know more than what we know, and they are not going to tell anybody anything unless you were to rip off all of his limbs. And when you get to his torso, maybe he'll actually talk. I get that idea from Law-Abiding Citizen. He did that, but he was just doing it to torture the person that killed his family right in front of him. So if you ever watched that movie, well, if you haven't watched that movie, I suggest you watch it. Law-Abiding Citizen. It ain't got nothing to do with people disappearing, but it's a pretty crazy movie. And I just, like I said, I use that analogy to say that if you are a parent and you was in the park with your family and your daughter or son disappeared, or your wife, and yet they're not telling you anything, you will probably have to torture them just so you can get the answer out of them. I don't know. Just like I said, I'm a father, so I don't. If something like that happens, I don't know what I do. I would probably commandeer that satellite office and keep everybody hostage until someone tells me what's going on. I don't care how out there, how outlandish, how spooky the information may be. I still want to know, because I'm into this stuff. I'm a huge, I'm a huge nut when it comes to stuff like that. The mysterious, the unknown, ghosts, all that stuff, UFOs, aliens. That's my shtick. That's what I do. That's my thing. That's what I'm up here for. So, later on down the road, I'm gonna start adding some very weird stories to the, weird things that fit the criteria of the unknown. And I will talk about it and use my theories about these situations, and you just go from there. I just got to find some good intel on these things. So that is my time, people. I gotta go. It's getting late, and I just want to thank you guys for watching my channel, and telling your friends about me, and the ones that are just coming in and seeing my videos. I want to thank you too for subscribing to my channel, and I hope you enjoy what I bring to the table. These are all true spooky stories about people who disappeared and are never found. When they are found, they're found dead under weird circumstances with no cause of death on the body whatsoever. Okay, so you know the drill. You know how David Paulides' books work. And once again, anybody that goes to his, goes to his Facebook page, about the movie that's supposed to be coming out pretty soon. I believe when I first found out, they said it is supposed to come out in May. So I'm very, very ecstatic about it. I can't wait, because I would definitely be there to see it. I think it's going to be in the theaters. If it's not going to be in the theaters, it's going to be on DVD. I'm not sure. I would hope it would be in the theaters, because everybody would see it. I don't know if people want to see stuff like that, if they want to pay to see it. If I be the only one in it, I don't care, as long as I see it. But it should get some hype. It should. Because he paid a lot of money for that movie, and he had a lot of people working on his team to help get that movie started. And all the people that he interviewed that had something to do with a lot of these cases, the actual parents, the sons, the daughters, all of them was involved. Even Les Stroud, of all people. even he was involved in it. And so it's gonna be a really good movie. So I hope you guys check it out. I know you will, and I will be right there with you watching it. And I don't know how it's gonna come out. It's either gonna be in the theaters or it's gonna be on DVD. Or, I hope it don't be on TV for a documentary, because they're gonna butcher that movie. They're gonna edit it so you won't see certain things. So it's got to be raw. And he wanted to be in full control of it, so he made sure that it was put out the way he wanted it to be put out. Because if he tried to give it to an independent television company, they're gonna ad lib, they're gonna do all kinds of stuff, like the Datliff mystery. They added a Bigfoot mystery to the mix, and one of the experts on that case said that is a total lie. That wasn't. He didn't find nothing in the evidence that stated there was a Bigfoot, involved in the disappearance of these people. Yet they had this picture in the background of a Yeti. It was a dark figure standing behind one of the trees, and you can see him in full bloom, standing in the snow. So, like I said, that's TV, people. That's what they do. They ad lib and they add shit to the story just so they can create good TV, for everyone. Just like, perfect example, Mountain Monsters on the Destination America channel. At first, when I started watching that show, it was actually pretty good, and I actually started to believe it. And then I started to think about all the things that I found wrong in that TV show. I'm not saying it ain't real, and I'm not saying it ain't fake, but to me, my personal opinion is that's a fabricated show, because all they do is yell. They screaming, talking about, I'm going out there, we gonna get you. They always screaming and talking all loud, and it's at night. I mean, shouldn't you be talking low so whatever it is out there you trying to hunt, it won't hear you? But yet you screaming in the woods or in the forest. They always in Appalachia. That's what, the Appalachian Mountains. And they screaming at the top of their lungs, talking about they gonna go down there, they gonna put it like that guy that talk like Boomhauer. He cracks me up, man. He's a Marine too, but he cracks me up. He's funny. But the guy Buck, I found out that Buck is actually an actor. Okay, I remember the movie that he was in way back in the day. I think it was like in the early 90s. Now, I'm not saying that he didn't go from being an actor to a hunter of all these weird creatures, because think about the guy who was the leader of Blink 182. I can't remember his name, but he's also now he's a UFO researcher who he works right along with the government, because they are slowly leaking in a disclosure. I think his name is Matt LeBlanc, as a matter of fact. Wait, I'm sorry. No, that's the guy from Friends. I'm sorry. I'm getting these names mixed up. But the bottom line is, the guy who was the leader of Blink 182, he's now a researcher of the unknown, UFOs and stuff like that. He's working right along with the government, like I said earlier. And he was on Coast to Coast talking about a lot of things. And I'm not gonna say I believe him. I'm not gonna say I don't believe him. But what can I say? It is what it is. So if he's gotten permission from the government to release or reveal certain information about UFOs, then hey, that's a start. But a lot of people don't really think that they're actually giving him information that we need to know. They might just be feeding him a bunch of crap. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not there. I can't really say that that's what they're doing. So, because the government is really good at keeping secrets, for one. So, but yeah. All right, guys, I gotta go. It's getting late, and I'm starting to get a little sleepy. I'm gonna try and get a little something to eat because I'm hungry. So I will see you guys once again on the very next episode, which will be Friday. Okay. So I want you guys to get a good night's sleep. Kim Star 66. Oh, it's probably daylight where you are, since you're in Australia, so you're probably having a very good day. I'm having a very good night. So I just want to say aloha, mahalo, and hui ho. Peace out, guys. Be blessed, be safe, be humble, be all those good things. And I will see you once again later on another episode. Peace.